It's your daily dose of Donna. Today is Thursday, October 24th. It's my youngest sister, Talia's birthday. Happy birthday, Talia. She's a lover of reality TV, just like us. She's actually, out of my three sisters, she's the only one that loves reality TV. I don't know what's wrong with the other two of them. I am so excited for today. We have so much to talk about. I actually clapped at the end of Salt Lake City. I clapped. I was like, this is the best Housewives in all the franchises of all. It's theater. It's so incredible. And after yesterday, I am so tired after talking about so many orgasms. I can't wait to get into today's show. I have weeded out people. Yesterday's show really weeded out those who can handle my ridiculousness, who can handle it's like, can you handle the truth? Can you handle the orgasms? If you can, you are in the right place. Luckily, YouTube left my video up. It wasn't classified as NSFW. It was totally safe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to Wednesday's episode just for shits and giggles about Nicole Kidman. We have so much to talk about today that I have to just get started. Literally, like the stories are aplenty. So let's get into it. Everyone, welcome to the show. This is Daily Dose of oh my gosh, they move things around here. Where is my, where's my, where's my, where's my song? This is your daily dose of Donna. Holy moly. I can't tell you guys. Let's just get right into it. Number one, Wednesdays are a toughie. Okay. My girlfriends and I were supposed to go out tonight. And then one of my friends said, is there any way we can move to Wednesday night? Because I have an important Zoom that I have to go to on Thursday. That's how you know when you're in your 40s, when you cancel on plans because you have an important Zoom to go to. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. Wednesday nights are a no-go. Why? You're busy? Yes, I am. Because I have to hang out with Joan, Pascal, Chalk. I have to hang out with Angie, Mary, and Lisa. I have to hang out with Ramses and Marissa. I have a lot to do on Wednesday nights. And I did it all. And we're going to be talking about it all. There's so much TV on Wednesdays, but like we're coming up to the end. Golden Bachelorette, I want to say, is probably 2 more episodes. And then maybe after the final rose. Love is Blind is done. We're going to get a reunion and that's it. So, I mean, we're really just going to be stuck with Salt Lake City. And the truth is, Salt Lake City is honestly the best. Oh, Andrew says, ew, chalk. We have lots of people that do not feel strong about chalk. I think, ooh, okay. I can't. Okay, let's wait. Can we hold on? Can you horn dogs calm down? And let's do one thing at a time. Let's start with just some stories, okay? Tom Sandoval has re-entered the podcast world. I know. A lot of you guys missed him. I get it. Listen, Tom Sandoval, it's just been so hard without him. It's just felt so quiet and so, sad. But Tom Sandoval has now come back. His podcast, I'm sure all of you guys are like refresh constantly in your podcast feed. He finally has come back with his podcast, and a few things have come out on his new podcast episode, one being about the fact that he's finally selling his house with Ariana. Yes. Can we get a round of applause? Tom and Ariana are finally going to be putting their house on the market, and if they have an open house, well, they won't. There's no way they're going to have an open house because me and all the 9,000 other Bravo lovers are going to be lining up at that open house. like Tom and Ariana's open house will absolutely have more people than Jax's on a Saturday night. No question, like 100%. What is this new branding? Chalk gives me the awk. I'm sorry. We have to like, can you hold up with your Golden Bachelorette funniness? I don't like this new branding of like that they gave me. We have to go back to the old. That's so like 1987 YouTube. Chat gives me the awk. Okay. Yes. So I think like I think they're gonna have a line out the door around the corner, and Tom Sandoval will be performing in the garage. You know, Tom Sandoval is gonna be the guy that's gonna be at the open house. You know how they say like when you're supposed to have an open house and you're selling your house, the seller should never be there. They should be like as far away from the house as possible. Tom Sandoval will be there signing autographs. Can't you just imagine that? He'll be like, "Yeah, man, that's the coffee machine that I made her the dumpling lattes." They're finally going to put it on the market. Now is not the best time to sell your house. A few years ago would have been a much better time to sell your house. The interest rates are going down. So I do think that you will get more offers on your house now than you would have, but they won't make as much money on their house now, I think, than they would have had they sold it when this whole thing went down. But, you know, Tom was convinced that he was going to be able to buy her out. I don't know the rulings behind why they decided to sell, 2 years after the fact. Another thing he did say on the podcast, this is thanks to Vanderpod recaps. She always does great recaps to it. So a few questions were asked on the podcast. I don't remember who was on the show. It was him and Victoria, the girlfriend. But there was another guy on the show, and I don't know who it was. The question is, which a lot of people obviously are wanting to know, is what happened with you guys and Billie Lee. Obviously, as you guys remember, Billie Lee came in and like created quite a ruckus in the last few months, really called out Tom Sandoval and Victoria's behavior. Victoria said, "What happened with us and Billie? I mean, what happened with Billie Lee is the real question." Tom says, "Yeah, I've known Billie for a while now. Obviously, she was on Vanderpump Rules. I met her before that, and we were close and good friends. And it's sad because you feel like you can trust somebody and you feel like you have a friend who's open and honest and real with you. And then you find out this whole other side, and it makes you sort of question and pull into your shell. And with Billie Lee, I can explain some. I know she went on quite a tangent, which was just so frustrating. And all the shit that she said about you, all the bullshit. It's like nobody even knows from the Vanderpump world, from the audience, even knows you yet. And it's so effed up for her to create this character." Victoria goes, "Yeah, it's like I haven't even been able to speak, and she's already created this whole dynamic of who I am, etc." They're kind of not really saying anything. Um, Victoria is saying they're making it out like I was a drug addict. Tom says twice. We smoked weed twice. Victoria says, "I also never said I was a perfect angel. I drink. I'm not an alcoholic. I will go to an event or I'll go to Schwartz and Sandy's. I'll have a drink, have a couple drinks." And the other guy is Scott. Scott goes, "Also, we're adults. Crazy." Victoria goes, "I'm 32 years old. We're not vampires. We work out. We work." Tom goes, "Exactly. We're pretty effing responsible. I mean, this is out of like 20 plus years. This is the least that I've drank, gone out. I'm much more responsible. And I think it took like taking 8 months off drinking and whatnot." Okay. So they're basically not saying a lot. There's a lot of the word like, there's a lot of, um, you know, uh, I think there's just like a lot of kind of going around the story. Obviously, Billie Lee doesn't like them. Obviously, they don't like Billie Lee. So they each have their own story about it. Tom says, "And with this whole thing with Billie, I'll back it up a little bit. I want to try to be brief. I don't want to get all like totally into it. But when the affair first happened, Billie pretty much separated herself with me and went team Ariana and all that stuff. And I get it. I was an effing bad look. And in some ways, I probably still am, unfortunately." Um, And then Victoria's like, "Wait, she went team Ariana?" And Tom goes, "Yeah." Victoria says, "That's so crazy because when she was in your kitchen, she was constantly like, F Ariana, F that B." Obviously, they're saying the full words. I'm not going to say all of them here because then I would definitely get demonetized. Um, Tom says, this whole spiel of how she gave up friends and lost all those friends to be friends with me is total BS. She didn't lose any friends. People in general were always a little scared of Billie because she would use the trans card and do things like that a lot and call people out, not call people out, but go after people. If she got upset and wanted to read this, because I remember going back on this podcast, she's like, oh, I only did one. Okay, whatever. He basically was saying that people were scared of her. They didn't want to go against her because she would always say they don't like me because I'm trans. Basically, what she did on the show. This is on Vanderpump Rules. Remember back in the day how that was? She wasn't invited to the girls' night, and then she made it out a whole thing. And I don't know if that was really the case or it was just that they weren't that close with her, and so they didn't invite her. So Tom says, and then people will still steer clear of her a little bit. And a month later, she hits me up. She's like, "Hey, just checking in." And like they kind of just separated a little bit, and then there was a little friction and jealousy. And then Tom says, "She started talking to me. Obviously, I was in a very vulnerable place, and this is what caused some of the shit with Victoria. She asked me because she always wanted to have a baby and whatnot. She asked me if it came down to it, I needed a sperm donor. What? They just didn't um sperm donor, whatever, would you possibly do that? Who in their right mind? I can think of 500 people before Tom Sandoval that I would want as my sperm donor. Lieutenant Dan of Hurricane Milton is on that list. I can't. Who in the world, you guys, who in the world would choose Tom Sandoval of all the people in the world to be a sperm donor? You guys, why? You want those genetics? What? That's crazy. Um, um, and obviously I'm like, this is Tom's words. And obviously I'm like, oh my gosh, this person wants to have a child. If she can't, whatever, has to get okay, I would consider that. And I was like, yeah, I would consider that. You guys, I'm reading word for word what he's saying. These are not my words. And so fast forward, all of a sudden, I keep hearing things. And this was during the time me and Ty were never serious. Was it T or Ty? The girl that he was dating for a second. It's TII, so I can't remember how her name was pronounced. Um, we weren't serious. She was talking to other guys. I mean, she even told me about that one that was on OnlyFans or something. I mean, what is he talking about? And okay. And she was like, "Hey, Billie's saying some crazy things," because Billie would come over and she did help me find an assistant, but she would come over. Billie never really had a place to stay, so she would be dog sitting, kind of living out of her car, stashing stuff at friends' houses, stashing stuff at my house, coming over doing laundry. And at that time, Ariana wasn't really staying at the house. She was on Broadway or whatever. And it was a big house, and I liked having somebody there, though. Even though she would just come over, she would, like, be on her laptop, go outside, chill, whatever. I didn't mind it. But it was very much sort of like a mutually beneficial thing, and she did start helping me out. And one of the things, like, her car got broken into, and she needed her laptop got stolen, other things got stolen. I don't know if her car actually he speaks in circles. Um And then all of a sudden, it turns into the fact that Victoria says, I got her flowers. Tom says, then she accused you of love bombing. Victoria says, yes, all of your things got stolen. Victoria says, what made me upset is I found out she was your friend. I offered her a place to stay. I gave her a code to my house. I told her, you can have your own bedroom. It has a walk in closet and your own bathroom. She didn't have a home. I was genuinely just trying to help her. And then she goes and says all this stuff like, oh, I'm crazy. I'm recording this and this and that. I'm like, girl, you were screaming on the phone because how did I hear her? What? Oh my God, you guys. My IQ is going down by the moment. Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I'm not okay. The point is they're all idiots. The whole summary is it's a bunch of idiots. So he basically said nothing about that. What I really wanted to Oh my God, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Now, there is a lot that Tom Sandoval talked about this thing about Rachel Leviss, about the lawsuit. So he basically says that on the podcast yesterday, um, he insinuated that Rachel's team wanted money and offered to drop the lawsuit had Tom Sandoval said that the reason the affair was discovered was because of NBC Universal, basically putting the blame on a bigger entity, meaning NBC Universal is the reason that the phone was dropped and the phone was found and the text messages were found and the FaceTime video was found. And if so, because of that, then Rachel and her team could then, this is all from Tom's words, by the way. Rachel and her team could then go and sue for the big bucks, right? Now so basically that's what Tom Sandoval was saying. And he was like, that's so crazy. But Rachel's attorney, Brian Freeman, came back today and slammed Tom's claim, branding it an outlandish lie before correcting the reality star's misuse of legal terminology. He said, "This is an outlandish lie. Let's not forget the source of this information is Tom Sandoval, who illegally and secretly recorded Rachel Leviss in a sexually compromising situation without her knowledge or consent while cheating on his girlfriend, Ariana Maddox. Once again, Tom Sandoval cannot be trusted, and the reasons are glaring." The statement continued. "First, this is an obvious lie. No lawyer would ever say drop all charges in a civil case. There are no such thing as charges in a civil case. Second, Sandoval allegedly learned this from the same lawyer he fired for tricking him or misleading him into filing a lawsuit against Ariana Maddox. If he did hear this from his now fired lawyer, why would he trust it as being true? Did he change his trickster opinion of his lawyer after he fired him for misleading him?" And then he concluded, "This is complete nonsense and even more evidence of Sandoval's inability to tell the truth. Sounds like Sandoval is looking for a lawsuit that he can remember this time." Once again, Sandoval is being accused of being a liar. And for that, I say, L'chaim to Sandoval lying again. Cheers. Every time Sandoval lies, take a sip of whatever you're drinking. We're all going to have to pee by the end of this episode. Let's move on. Dina Manzo's daughter has spoken about this whole story going about, Tommy Manzo. And this is actually sad. I was really sad to see this story. Obviously, as you know, her aunt, Caroline Manzo, came out in support of Tommy, who attacked Dina's now husband and actually not specifically attacked, but hired someone to attack. And Dina was injured as well. It was a very, very scary situation. And um, and basically this is the gist of what she said. Um, she said, she said a lot, but I'm just going to read this one little part. She said, "Caroline was more than an aunt to me. She often rocked me to sleep as a child and stepped in as a second mother, welcoming us into her home during the uncertain period following my mother's separation from my father. Yet, in a staggering betrayal, she would later choose the side of my mother's abuser and go as far as writing a character letter in defense of Tommy. What would compel someone to form an alliance with a felon over their own blood? Some might describe it as thick as thieves. Meanwhile, my mother's sister, Cookie, continued to be employed by him and even appeared in court in his support. A troubling lack of loyalty, despite having once shared a home with us and bearing witness to Tommy's darkness. Other family members chose the path of silence, offering neither empathy nor acknowledgement, their complacency and acceptance to his crimes. I've been severed from a once beloved village of aunts, uncles, and cousins, all because of these fractured alliances. My phone is yet to ring. Perhaps this shows how cunning of a man Tommy is, or how shallow humans can be." Did anyone feel so sad reading this? I don't know how old Alexis, I'm sorry, I don't know how old Lexi is now. Obviously, we saw her as a kid on the show. It really made me sad. Like, there's nothing worse when your family gets torn apart this way, especially when you feel like your mom was the victim And now your mom is treated like the bad boy, like the bad one, you know? It's really, really sad. August is saying money sign. Are you saying that they all were basically captivated by money? I truly think they were all scared of Tommy. I think it's like a scared thing. I think they were truly all scared of for their lives. There is a whole Substack piece. You can subscribe to it. Her name is Alexia, and her Instagram account is on Instagram. She's Boho Chicken. So at BOHO Chicken. And then she has a Substack. So you can go and read the entire thing. She's beautiful. She's a wonderful writer. And I'm really glad that she was able to get her words out because I'm sure it was very therapeutic. And honestly, like Dina's lucky to have her and she's lucky to have her mom. So I'm sending love and prayers and all of that to them. So before we get into last night's TV, I mean, I could talk about Bethany yelling at the haters about her Botox, but we're going to skip right over that. I can't do it, you guys. Whoa. Andrew Dominguez just said Al and Tommy's dad's eggplant was severed and he was stuffed in a trunk. I'm sorry. What? Where do we read that story? For some reason, I feel like they're connected to Angie and her family after last night's episode. That's wild. Before we get into the stories of TV, I have some really good news for you. I am wearing the bra. Yep. Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove, as you guys know. And Honeylove has revolutionized the wireless bra game. Their bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for uncomfortable wires and unnecessary bulk. Because you and I deserve a bra that's lightweight and comfortable without sacrificing support. Embrace freedom, flexibility, and comfort with Honeylove's wire-free bras. As you guys know, I am not a bra wearer, but on a shirt like this is a shirt and I specifically dressed this way for you. If you're not watching and you're only listening on the audio, click on over to the YouTube if you want to just get a visual of what I look like. Because, it's quite a winter today. But this is a shirt that's not super tight. So if I'm not wearing a bra, you would get that little, the little ping pong boob situation, which wouldn't be necessarily the best idea. So I put on my Honeylove bra today. And I think I'm going to show it to you guys. Are you sure? Yeah? You guys want to see it? This is how much I want you guys to order your Honeyloves. I'm showing you my bra. Look, my Honeylove bra. It's basically like a sports bra, but it's not because it has it has cups. Check it out. Check it out. And look, no belt, no back bulge. Isn't that great? It's so comfortable. It's not tight. There's no underwire. What if I by mistake showed boobs? Anyway, it's so cute and you can and you can seriously buy it in any color, any size. You can do returns if it doesn't fit properly. But the most important thing is that you can get 20% off at honeylove.com/dailydose. I really wanted to show you because I am very big on promoting products that I personally like. So that's why I get behind these products. Like when my companies that, help me with my ads, when they come to me and they say like, what do you think of Honeylove? I'm like, yes, because I actually like the products. So when I tell you I like it, I want to make sure you know. And for that, I will show you. So tomorrow, when I talk about Dame, I'm going to be showing you me using a sex toy. Just joking. Will not do that. Maddie says good for sports or it's a daily bra. I mean, I think that you could totally use this if you wanted to for like a Pilates situation, but it doesn't really. No, it's more to me. It's more like I guess you could do athleisure. Yeah, I guess you could. But now if you guys don't buy bras, like where else are we gonna go? Where else are we gonna go? Honeylove.com, support Daily Dose of Donna, get 20% off honeylove.com and use code Daily Dose. Let's get into the shows from last night. First of all, we need to take a couple minutes to talk about Love is Blind. And I'm going to say there's going to be spoilers because there was only one episode. This is like I don't even feel bad about it because if you didn't watch last night's episode, I am going to honestly I'm going to say this. I'm not going to talk about it for that long, but it's not going to be anything that's going to shock you. I truly don't understand. I don't understand. There's nothing about this season that is redeeming or enjoyable. Nothing. But the episode starts with the worst of the worst, and his name is Ramses. We've got Ramses and Marissa. This is the couple. She's the one that wants the cis, non, no, cis. God, now I can't remember what she wanted to get to marry her. She wanted a cis, non-gendered. She wanted something like that to marry them. That was like a big thing for her. She's like, all I care about is that it's a woman and that they're I can't remember, cisgender. I don't know what a cisgender is. She was she was very, very big on that. She also is a former Army girl and she loved, or Navy. She loved Navy or Army. I want to say Navy. She loved being part of the Navy, but she also understands that like it didn't feel good at the end. Ramses, meanwhile, is as liberal as possible. He's like a hippy dippy and he's got two tails. And when I tell you, damn, I really should have thought props out for this one. Okay, I can think of something. This is Ramses, okay? Ramses has these two ugly ass tails that are just hanging from his hair. Oh, she did not want a cis white gender man. Thank you. She did not want a cis white gender man. So that's what Michelle said. I'm a cisgender woman. Lisa says, is cisgender when you love your sister? I don't know, and I'm not the person to ask these things. My 11-year-old son would be mortified over this conversation. He gets so mad at me when I get these things wrong. He's like all up on that stuff. He knows it all. Okay. Ray says I have more props than Carrot Top. I do not. This is not a prop. This is literally just a cord, but I'm very creative with my props. So Ramses, um, decides that he is super, super hippy dippy and he's really not into war. He doesn't like war. He doesn't like fights. He doesn't like bullying countries. He definitely doesn't like the army. He's all about, free Palestine, which you know how I feel about Ramses. Love him. And the sarcasm is flying off of my face. But then at the end of the day, what really took him to the next end, okay? The next end of like what really kicked him out of the relationship. It wasn't the fact that her mother was like serial killer scary. She really was. Like I would never marry into her family. Her mother was like, "What are you doing with my fucking daughter?" Her mother was so scary. The it was the um the fact that she didn't want to get on birth control. She didn't want to get on birth control because it messed with her moods. She was depressed when she was on birth control. Understandably, birth control F's with you. Okay, hormones are a bitch for a woman. And this MF didn't want to put on a rubber. Yep. He goes, "You actually enjoy condom sex?" And she goes, "Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like it." And he goes, "Yeah, that's just like not my thing. Like, I just don't think that that's going to work for me. Like, I just don't know if I can ever have condom sex." This is a problem, Marissa. Cut to It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. Like, you need more than love. She's like, "You're not giving me anything tangible. Like, why isn't this gonna work? Like, why don't you love me? Why aren't you going to be with me?" And he goes like, "I just don't think this is gonna work." And she's like, she cried like her town was being torn apart by like a nuclear bomb. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He was just like, "Man, I just don't know if it's gonna work." And guess who she calls for support? She calls her damn mother. "Mom, he called off the wedding." The mom's sitting there, probably smoking a cigarette. Should have known with that motherfucking tail on his head. Never trusted him. He looked like a rat. It was wild to see. And Ramses was just like twirling his hair. "I just like to fuck without a condom." That's what he was thinking the whole time. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. He is horrible. She's like, "You shouldn't have been on the show." Now, I don't understand any of it because he was saying, "I don't think I want to be with you because I'm not really feeling it and I don't want to make any mistakes and da 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 da." And she's like, "But you shouldn't have been on the show." And he's like, "No, I really was feeling it." He basically was too pussy to say, sorry to use that word in like a negative language. I don't like doing that. So he was basically too scared to say, "I don't like you. Like, I don't love you. I don't wanna be married to you. I I wanna be able to, raw dog." That's what he was gonna say, right? Done. Next. Now remember, we have dropped more couples in the last couple episodes of Love is Blind than have ever been on the show. There are no more couples left. Hannah, Nick are done. Hannah and Nick are gone. Okay, they're gone. She's on her weight loss journey already. We've lost Steven, who's drunk at his sleep texting about butt stuff, and Monica. We've lost them. We've lost Ashley and I'm sorry, we've lost Alex and Tim. That's the one that was eating chicken wings. Like she was just so hungry. Took a nap and got broken up with. And then now we're really just left with two couples who are forced to have their bachelor and bachelorette parties together. And that's when I fast forward. I have no interest in watching these fake ass bachelor and bachelorette parties, these stupid basketball. I literally but fast forwarded the entire episode. I fast forwarded through all of the basketball, the stupid basketball bachelor party where they were like, "We're getting married." And then this stupid bachelorette party. I mean, I like Taylor and Garrett. Don't get me wrong, but I can't look at Tyler. Tyler is the one that has the 3 kids, and he still hasn't been honest with Ashley, and I'm thinking surely he's honest that he has the 3 he has given his sperm as 3 kids, but now we know IRL that 3 of those kids he has relationships with, and 2 of them are not sperm donor kids. 2 of them were done without a condom, okay? So, like, none of this is real. He is a liar. We are watching him lie in real time. So, I'm fast forwarding through all this bullshit. I actually really like Ashley and I really like Taylor. I really like Garrett and Tyler can, go hang out with Ramses and Steven and all of the freaking losers on the show. The worst group of losers we ever saw. Now, I fast forwarded through everything. I don't care if we're finding out developments. I don't care if they're telling us crazy, crazy things. I don't care. All I want to know is when they leave the wedding, are they crying or are they happy? I didn't even want to wait. I didn't even wait to see if they say I do. I just wanted to see after the wedding. Sure enough, Ray says 4X. Fast forward through everything. Sure enough, at the end of the first wedding, which was Tyler and Ashley, I do. These 2 got married. He Tinder swindlered his way through this. This liar got married. And I don't think they're still together, you guys. Have we done some research? It's It's always a sign when, ooh, I got a DM from Andrew Dominguez whenever I get a DM from Andrew Dominguez during my show. It's a good one. It's a YouTube about Albert Manzo's dad, Al Manzo's dad. I am dying to know if what is happening, like, between Ashley and Tyler now. But from what I heard from my friend Eliza Rosen, shout out, she texted me last night and we were talking about it. And she goes, according to Instagram, it's just Ashley and Tyler. Patricia says they're still together. I hate the show. And then, of course, Taylor and Garrett got married. And I didn't even have to watch the wedding to know that. Okay. So that was that. They're done. That show is done. And so am I. Let's move on. I feel like we need to get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me tell you something about my family. This is a show that is phenomenal, but we need to talk. I'm so confused about this Up and Adam situation, and we'll get into it. I don't know if we talk about it now or do we talk about it later. I need to find out what the hell is going on here with the Whitney and the Up and Adam, because now Dana Wilkie is getting involved. And no hard feelings. I have no issue whatsoever. I don't listen to her show. I also don't watch Up and Adam. So I don't really know what's going on. I know Dana and Up and Adam have an alliance. They're friends. And what's happening is I'm seeing this all over my website. I mean, all over Instagram. So basically on the show, and we're going to go through the show because Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was phenomenal. But the big storyline between Whitney and Lisa and Meredith is through the Alibaba. You remember in the last couple of episodes, Meredith brings up that Whitney has been stealing designs, allegedly, based on some Instagram account, stealing designs from Alibaba. And so because of that, Whitney got really upset in Milwaukee and yelled at Meredith and got really angry. But then she had a conversation with Adam from Up and Adam on the show, and he was saying he got it from another account. So I'm a little bit confused on the details. Whitney then deduces and comes to Lisa yesterday. We'll get into it, and yells at her and says, "I know it's you." Now, on Up and Adam's podcast, he says that Dana Wilkie told him it was not Lisa who sent the information about Whitney and her jewelry being the same as Alibaba. However, when talking to Whitney, he said Dana told him it was Lisa. So who's lying? Who's lying? Andrew, thank you very much. You said it here right now. This should be illegal. We should be able to talk about it. We should not be part of the show. I am so over this. It's so, because you know why? And I'm just going to say this, you guys know I'm spicy, okay? And I don't give a shit anymore. There's too many fame-thirsty podcasters out there. There's too many that are dying to be part of these shows. They want to be on these shows. They want to be part of the stories. They befriend everyone. They want to be invited to all the events. They want to be on the shows. And so they will lie, cheat, steal, and finagle their way onto these shows. So they'll say anything and do anything to get in the DMs. It's so sick. This is a problem. This is actually a major Bravo problem. This is a storyline now. What Adam said to Whitney is changing the course of the show. That's a big issue. He's not on the show. He's just some random dude who reports on the show. That is problematic. Okay, hold on one second. Your comments always give me so much, so I really want to talk about this. And then I will go through more of the show. Bridget said, Adam denies he said it's Lisa. Dana insinuated it's Heather. That doesn't make any sense because didn't Adam say it was Lisa? Okay, Michelle says, Adam said that there were 2 separate conversations that he signed off to have film. And what we saw was Franken edited. So you guys remember, Lance has talked about this many times. It's called a Franken edit. So basically what that means is when you sign your rights away, when you allow basically your likeness to be on a TV show, they can take your voice whenever you're on the show and they can piece it together however they want it. So, for example, I think I talked about it on Patreon. I was at a party a couple of weeks ago and I met, I was hanging out with a bunch of people. And one of the guys that I was talking to is the husband of a woman who was on $1 Million Listing. She was the one that bought Diane Keaton's house. She had all the cats. I don't know if you remember. She was with Tracy Tudor. And her husband was awesome. And I said, "Why weren't you on the show?" And he said, "I would have, but I wasn't going to sign the I wasn't going to sign the contract because of this. Because they basically say that if you sign the contract, they are technically giving you the rights to use your likeness in any possibility. But Lance said very rarely do they really do that Franken piecing editing anymore. I don't believe. So he's basically saying that one conversation he had said the truth and one had a lie and they used a lie conversation. That's confusing. I feel like I need to go and listen to his podcast. Robin says that whole Adam thing was confusing. I even listened to his podcast about it and I do not like his podcast because he's annoying. You said it, not me. Okay, Michelle says one was the conversation about the jewelry and one was a conversation about someone bullying Whitney's daughter on social media. What does that have anything to do with the jewelry then? The show is lying or Whitney had them film him talking about something else. Okay, Kathleen says Dana Wilkie said Bravo TV wouldn't pay to use her video podcast to talk about Whitney's jewelry. So it's so disconnected on the show. They didn't want to give her money for footage. I would never ask for money for footage. If they wanted to use my show, I would totally say, yeah, use it. I think it's great promotion. If they wanted to use, like, and I got a comment last week when I was talking about this. Someone was so mean in my comments saying, like, you're so obviously biased. If Zach Peter was on that phone call, you would be so supportive. Look, I can't say yes or no. I love Zach, and Zach and I are actual legitimate friends. So that's hard for me to say if I would be supportive or not. They have used Zach in these shows before, but what they do is they take clips of him speaking about these shows and they put them. Remember, they put a clip of Zach talking about Mauricio and Kyle in the beginning of last season of Beverly Hills. Like, they take a clip of his show. That's different. If they took a clip, if Bravo came to me and said, "Hey, Daily Dose of Donna, can we take a sound bite of you talking about our show and put it on the opening of Salt Lake City?" I would be like, "Please and thank you." I don't think that's thirsty. That's just promotion of your podcast. I think it's different when you're part of the storyline. Does that make sense? I am going to Danny goes, "What are you talking about? Like one of those who freaking moved to Charleston and Salt Lake to get close to cast members? Never." Yeah, okay. Um This is so funny. Andrew goes, "What if discussing the podcast drama on this show becomes a part of the show too?" Wait, what if Daily Dose of Donna talking about Up and Adam and Dana Wilkie on Real House of Salt Lake City becomes part of next season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? And done. Let's do it. I mean, it's so out of control. It's so crazy. So Adam said Whitney wanted it to be lit. Lisa, I don't even know, you guys. I am going to have to watch. I do not personally I'm not a personal fan of his show. I'm just going to be honest. I don't find it revealing or interesting myself. But Bravo Babe posted on her Instagram account. She goes, "So who is it? Is it Who is it, and is Up and Adam or Dana Wilkie lying? This is behind the scenes narration that makes things too messy. Stop letting fan accounts and podcasters dictate a storyline. It's too much. I'm so over that. Like, I'm so done with it. It's a bad look. Honestly, it's a bad look for them. Okay, let's move on. um let's go into the show. So the show opens up with the best goddamn editing. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, never fire your editors. They're so good. We have dark, we have like black and white. It's Angie bringing in her people. It's very mafia mob boss, and really, it sounds to me like she's like planning a hitman. It's very Tommy Manzo, if you know what I mean. And sure enough, it's just that she wants to invite everyone to a party. We then go on to she's having a 25th anniversary party. We go to Lisa Barlow's house. I legitimately laughed out loud in this scene. Laughed out loud. Lisa Barlow makes me laugh. I don't care what you guys are saying. I mean, what you guys think about Lisa Barlow. She makes me laugh. I have the craziest truck driving through the neighborhood, like do 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 do, like one of those food trucks. It is. She is so funny, and her energy, her just everything she says in the editing, it's just phenomenal. But the scene where she's talking to Jack, no, Jack is the older. What's the younger son's name? And she's talking shit basically about how Angie was saying that she's a bad mom, and she's complaining to her husband, and she's complaining to her husband and her son about it, and she's like, "Yeah, they say that I am they say that I'm being a bad mom." And she's like, "I only she's saying I only let Henry. She's saying I only let you game." And he's like, "You should box. You should like just get in a ring and box. That's what I do with my friends." And she's like, "Wait, what?" It was so good. And then she goes, "Wait, what?" And then Henry goes, and then it just moves on. Like, it's so good. And they FaceTime Jack, and she's like, "You look so good, Jack. You look so good." It's so amazing. So then Whitney goes and Whitney drives me nuts. Whitney and Heather can go. Can't stand them. They go to lunch. Whitney and or dinner, Whitney and Meredith, and she's like, "I'm really sorry for how I treated you in Milwaukee about Alibaba. I realize it's not you, okay? It's not you, Meredith. It's actually Lisa." And Meredith is like, "I don't want to be in the middle of this." I mean, between Whitney, Meredith, it's like the sound guys are probably freaking out. The boom operators, like they don't know how to kind of get in the middle of the two of them. They're probably struggling so much. But obviously, Whitney's trying to kind of set it up, saying this is obviously a Lisa issue. I have found out it is not you. All signs are pointing to her. The best is later when Lisa says, you shouldn't do math and you shouldn't do art because you were bad at connecting the dots. You shouldn't do anything when there are dots. Like, what? She goes, "Okay, Whitney Drew." It was so phenomenal. I loved it. Then we go to the VIP of this entire episode and every episode this season is Mary. I think we can all agree Mary Cosby has shot up to the top of the ranking of my favorite housewife. I think on all franchises, I was one of the only people that really always loved her. I know that a lot of you guys really struggled with her, but I really do love, love, love her. And I was so sad to see her talking to her son. Now, we mentioned this already last week. He has since gone into rehab for cocaine, fentanyl, like all this horrible, horrible drug addiction. And I really hope he's okay. But the scene was so sad when she was talking to her son, and he was on the stairs, and he's like a ghost of himself. He's like a zombie. I mean, drugs are no joke, and it's so obvious with his wife, girlfriend, I don't even know, who's also just like, shut up, Michelle. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer just dropped. What do we do? What do we do? How do we do this? Okay, just wait. I'm going to finish Salt Lake City, and then we're going to talk about it. Don't leave. Okay, so I want to play it. I want to play it, but I'm worried about I'm worried about the copyright stuff. But okay, I'm gonna pull it up. But I just want to stay on what I'm talking about, and then I'll get there. Okay. Don't leave. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. So Bronwyn comes over to Mary's house and they have a great conversation. Bronwyn, I just love Mary. Everything she says is phenomenal, but they talk a lot about Heather. They talk about the fact that Heather is the biggest shit stirrer. I love that they're all going against Heather on this one. This was phenomenal because Heather finally needs to get everyone against her. Heather has been behind all of the drama for all these years, and she's finally met her match in Bronwyn, of all people, a newbie. Do you love that or what? I just I love how Bronwyn comes over to Mary's house and she's like, "I would move into Mary's house. We both have blue kitchens." How sad was that when Mary was saying that when I was a kid, my mom could afford it, but she only got us cabbage and cranberry juice, things that didn't match. She was like, "I just wanted a bowl of cereal." I just love Mary. I'm trying to get through this because I really want to show you guys the trailer, which I will. Don't you worry. So obviously they're feeling kind of like angry towards Heather. Um, we get ready for the party. We show up at the party. And this is, of course, I'm just going to try to get through it. This is, of course, when the shit goes down. I feel bad for talking badly about Angie and her husband, or her husband last episode or last season. I'm a fan of Angie, very much a fan of Angie now, and I really like her husband too. I think that they're very cute. I like their dynamic. I was shocked Meredith showed up to that party. I really was, and I was even more shocked that she kept her sunglasses on for a very large part of that party. Now, that house does have a lot of windows and it's very white. Okay, it's very white and there's a lot of windows. So I understand it's probably very bright. But I was very surprised. Um Brittany shows up with a new guy. His name is Aaron. There was this really weird moment where Heather was like, "Aaron, what are you doing here? Whoa, Aaron. Oh my god, Aaron." We find out that Aaron and Heather have kissed before. That's weird, I guess. But Heather was very strange about it. She said everyone's kissed everyone in Salt Lake City. Brittany has decided, now that I've broken up with Dirty Donnie Osmond, Dirty Jared Osmond, that's his name, right? I have now decided to date other guys. And so I'm now dating this other dude, and, whatever, it worked out. But the best part is Mary standing with Meredith, and she's like, "That's him. That's Jared." And Meredith's like, "That's not him." And she goes, who is that? Who is he? And she goes, "No, that's Jared." I mean, Mary, you can't introduce her to anyone new. If Mary doesn't even know who Bronwyn is. If you go to Mary right now and say, "Who is that?" She'd say, "Who is that?" She's so good. She's convinced that this is Jared Osmond, and she's sure of it. And then in the confessional, she goes, "Who's Aaron?" I love her. It's so good. There's a conversation that happens between Mary and Lisa and Heather. And that's when Mary starts to talk to Heather. And Heather starts to get shit on by a lot of people. Mary goes after Heather. She's like, "You're a liar." But she didn't really have anything to back it up with. And I don't love that. I wanted Mary to have more to back it up with. She's like, "You're a liar. You're not nice to me." And Heather's like, "Give me an example." And she's like, "Give me an example of when you were nice to me." It was this weird conversation. At the end, it kind of ended copacetically. It felt like it was fine. And right after that, Mary does the most iconic thing we've ever seen on Housewives history, which is she goes to a couch, finds the only 12-year-olds in the entire party, sits next to them and says, "Whew, that was a tough fight. I'm tired. But I think Heather and I will be okay." I don't know. I mean, da, da, da. And she starts gossiping with these two little 12-year-olds. It was so funny. Just everything about her is funny. I I would, how they do like cameos and stuff? I would pay a lot of money to hang out with Mary for a day. Like, is she doing anything for charity, make a wish, something like that? That is my wish of life, is to hang out with Mary for a day. What would we do? Definitely work out. I would take her to a restaurant. I would have her on Daily Dose of Donna, of course. I don't know. I would just like sit and talk. Like, I just want to laugh all day. And then of course, towards the end of the party, Jared Osmond shows up because Whitney's dumbass husband, Justin, who looked so stupid in this episode. I'm sorry. Those teeth. I have no major issue against Justin except for the fact that he wears the most obnoxious label clothing. Those teeth have got to go. This is Mauricio times a million. It is unreal what's happening with his teeth. Justin invites, hey, Jared, you want to come to the party? Brittany's here. You should come on over. What is happening with the teeth? If I were Whitney, I would while he's sleeping, I would paint coffee on them. It's real bad. He decides to invite Jared. Why? And Jared's like, okay, I'll come. And he comes. And Brittany is on a date with this guy, Aaron. And the second she sees Jared, he's like an onion. She starts crying hysterically. She sees him and she's bawling. And the craziest moment is that the guy she's on a date with is right there. And he sees her hysterically crying. And she's like, I love you. This is so hard. They go outside and she's like, why are you here? I'm trying to get over you and I love you. And he's like, you want me to leave? And she's like, no. And he's like, let's go inside. And she's like, okay. I don't get it. Michelle says production definitely told Justin to invite him. Definitely. Because he's mic'd. He was mic'd right when he walked in. Did you notice that? Whenever someone's mic'd before they enter a room or when they enter a scene, it's a produced situation. It was annoying. Not to say but also why are we spending so much energy on Brittany and this stupid Donny Osmond? I'm so bored with it. Who cares? Let's spend more energy on the people that we care about, which is the fight in the corner between first it starts with Heather and Angie. And I'm sorry, I am so team Angie and Bronwyn on this one. She's so mad at Bronwyn because she thinks Bronwyn's getting into Angie's ear. But Heather is the shit stirrer because she's the first person that's going to Lisa and saying all the things. And now she's mad that Bronwyn's just trying to be a good friend here. Bronwyn sees right through Heather's shit. And then the next fight, of course, is between Whitney, who puts on her Whitney Drew hat and decides to go on over to Lisa. And Lisa, I have never seen a reaction like this. Do you think Lisa is guilty or innocent to react this way? Whitney goes, I know it was you, Lisa. And in an instant, I have never seen a reaction so fast. In an instant, call the cops, call Los Angeles police, call Salt Lake City police, get on this. We're going the distance. Security, we're going the distance on this one. I don't want anyone to get, I hope Up and Adam and Dana Wilkie get interrogated for this. Will they? Will they get interrogated? Can Adam get arrested? If podcasters are getting involved, they should get arrested. We're going the distance. The best part is it John, Lisa's husband, John Barlow? Yeah. The best part was John, who was standing in the side, just drinking a Vita tequila. And someone was like, who was she calling? And John's like, yeah, it's just our cybersecurity guy. Just Lisa. She's just being Lisa. John's like, I get Lisa. Now towards the end, and Lisa's just freaking flying back and forth. She's like, I need a Diet Coke. She's so pissed. Michelle says we're going the distance merch. That's phenomenal. And then she said, and you're paying for it, Whitney. There's an after show. That's right, Reality TV Lover. We have to watch it. Reality TV Lover says Heather Gay is the one who did everything. I absolutely agree. I love how Susan says, why is LAPD involved? Yeah, don't you think we have enough going on? 7-Elevens are getting broken into every hour here in LA. What, we're going to go and like find out who said that Lisa Barlow talked to Up and Adam? It's wild. Like, you're LAPD, we have an emergency. Dana Wilkie. Dana who? $25,000 sunglasses. You remember Dana? Oh, Dana. Didn't Dana go to jail or get arrested on something a few years back? It's so good. A Bravo jail is needed and is genius. That is good. Okay. We will have to kind of like get deep into this and like figure this out. Does Bravo docket need to get into like the legalities behind Up and Adam getting involved here? If I were Adam, I would honestly, I would want to climb under a rock. I'm so annoyed that he's part of this show right now, to be 100% honest. I find it cringeworthy. Michelle goes top of the LA list. On George Gascon's list today, Menendez brothers and Lisa Barlow. And then towards the end of the episode, of course, that's when Lisa goes up to Justin and is like, your husband's a liar. And he's like, don't call my wife a liar. And then John's like, well, don't say that to my wife. And then all I saw right before the episode ended was that one man said to the other man, and Andrew Dominguez, you're going to like this moment. In the caption, it says, I'm going to pound his ass. And I thought to myself, this sounds gay. It does. I wasn't the only one thinking it, right? I'm not the only one with a sick mind. Yes, the Menendez brothers announcement will be at 1:30 Pacific time. So that's in 1 hour. And no, I will not stay live for an hour for that. But we will be watching. Let's see if I can find the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer and we can watch it together. I'm going to give this one to Face Reality 16 because it's the first person I saw when I opened up Instagram. And I am nervous to show this to you guys because of copyright, but let's do this. Let's get on this together. Are we ready? Are we ready? We're watching this live together. Everyone, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer returns November 19th. Set your damn calendars. Here we go.
Lights, camera, action.
It's showtime, baby.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is back.
And the trailer begins in 3, 2, 1.
The beard delete is amazing.
Friendships are not perfect. There are many ups and downs, twists and turns.
Look at all of us, our age and what we're doing. Everybody honestly should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously.
I am not going to bow down at the altar of Kyle Richards.
You think I'm some idiot.
We've all been trying to get you to stop talking so that you can listen to us.
We don't need you to make this group exist. Let us join our palms together.
I really hope that this ribbon does what Sutton's intending for it to do. And if not, I can save it in case I need to strangle one of these ladies.
We are now sisters forever. God help us.
This season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Kyle on a horse.
Let's get drunk! Go!
We are going to arrive in style. I love it because it really does go with my Chanel bathing suit.
I feel so elegant.
Oh, that waves, honey.
You can't wear anything that people have seen you in. That's the kiss of death in Beverly Hills.
Bose is the real deal. She's the boss.
Cheers to St. Lucia.
Is that Epstein Island?
Don't mind Tiffany.
Oh, that's really creepy. Are you married?
Not this week.
Me neither. Beverly Hills is the place where marriages come to die.
I think that you need to pile.
It sucks to see your photos of your ex making out with some child.
It's too much all at once.
Of course.
We're talking like 5 times a day.
I know, but we're not going to.
You're angry, and you're not angry at me. You're angry at your life. You're volatile.
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Can you let me talk?
It's okay, Kyle. It's time for you to listen.
Yeah.
Kyle told me PK texts her.
What more do you want from me?
I want you to stop raising your voice to me.
No, you say to everybody. I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Damn, where the hell's she going?
All right. So many thoughts. And it premieres on Josh's birthday. You guys, November 19th, Josh's birthday. We're going to have a party. We're going to we'll have to have a watch party, Josh, for your birthday. All right. Thoughts off the bat? I would say right off the bat, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills always delivers, no matter how much we can't stand certain people. Kyle Richards cried 18 times in that premiere. I mean, in that trailer. Like, that was wild. So much crying. Number 2, so awesome to see Dorit finally stand up to Kyle. Everyone is so scared to stand up to Kyle. I mean, that is something that always happens. So I love that. Are they trying to say that PK and Kyle are hooking up? That was ridiculous. I can't see this whole idea of, oh my God, it's so hard to see Mauricio hooking up with a younger person. Kyle asked for this. Kyle wanted this. Kyle did this first. Michelle thinks something's definitely going on between the Kyle and Dorit regarding the husbands. Interesting. Did anything else jump out at you though? It really was just all about Kyle and Dorit. We saw basically nothing about anything else. We didn't see anything about Erica. We didn't see anything about Sutton. We didn't see anything about, we just met Bose, but we didn't see anything about her. We didn't see anything about Garcelle. It was really a Kyle and Dorit preview. Honestly, I really do believe, someone said in the comments, amazing, this is amazing. We haven't talked about Morgan one time in the preview. But then that just means Kyle's lying. Again. We're just lying again. Michelle thinks that he's talking to Kyle about his marriage to Dorit. You'd be upset if my husband and friend were texting while we were separated. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would be upset for this reason. So I remember this really well. There was a lot of times when when Kyle would be reposting PK's stories and PK would be tagging Kyle. Do you remember that? They both were very big into working out. They were both not drinking. Remember, they both got sober. And they probably leaned on each other, but I don't think it was a romantic thing in any way whatsoever. I don't find it upsetting to me. If Lance and I were separated and he was texting my best friend Valerie, I wouldn't be upset about it. Unless he was hey, Valerie, you want to go out for drinks? It would be weird. But if he was yeah, I'm feeling upset. What should I do about this? Do you think I should call her? What's the best way to deal with it? I don't think it's upsetting to me. Oh my God. I just feel it's rinse and repeat with Kyle. Jesus, I'm already annoyed with her. But she can't have a worse season than last season, I think. I don't think we can ever have a worse season than last season. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's true. You can say that now, but you won't know until you're in it. It's really hard to say. But I don't know. We'll have to see. The trailer it looks fun. It looks crazy. It looks wild. And I'm really hoping it's a good season. Let's hope, right? Let's hope. Let's go on. Let's move on to Golden Bachelorette, huh? Because we want to talk about it and then we'll be done for the day. Golden Bachelorette was good. It was good. It was, right now we're down from 4 to 3. Basically where we were was we have hometown dates. So we have, in order, we have Guy, who is so creepy to me. He's Mitt Romney, Dr. Mitt Romney. Andrew said that once, and I will never be able to not see that. I can't. I can't with Guy. I find him so unattractive. I find him so unsexy. I don't know if it's the fact that he had that like weird restraining order news that came out. He is so inept as a doctor. He can't bowl. He can't softball. He can't pickleball. He can't zest a lemon. I'm not into it, you guys. Like, never. Not for me. So we have Dr. Mitt Romney. She goes home with him. Beautiful Lake Tahoe. She meets his family. She has a wonderful time. All is good. Fine. Bye. Then she goes to Chicago, and I love a Chicago guy. Okay, Lance is a Chicago guy. That's where we go when we visit his family. Well, like Northern Illinois. And I love Chicago. I love the Cubs. I love the Bears. Okay, don't at me. And it's so fun. And like Chicago guys are usually really cool and hot and wonderful. And we've got two really good ones. We've got Pascal and we've got Jordan. Rick Leventhal. Okay, Pascal is our French hottie. And I found myself insanely turned on by Pascal last night. I don't want to say Nicole Kidman turned on, but I want to say I can't with this. I want to say I truly found myself attracted to Pascal. And I get it. Not so much for the fact like the French accent's hot. He's a very good looking guy. He's very successful. But he owns a salon with 50 women in it who will pretty woman the shit out of you when you walk in. She walked in and they all like, oh my God, Joan, let me give you the treatment. Hair, massage, this, that. This would be your life. Hey guys, my wife is coming in today. Give her the treatment. How amazing would that be? Like, wouldn't you have the best time ever in your life if you went into, if you married a man who owned a hair salon? It's like marrying a plastic surgeon or, you know, a clothing designer or something. Like, you want, it's beneficial, okay? What are you getting with chalk? Insurance, boring, whatever. Okay. So she goes with Pascal. They have this great time, and his family is amazing. So cool, so cute. His son is so cute. Like, I don't know if he's single or not, but if there's like a 20-some-year-old girl out there that is looking, wow. Wow. Then, um, then she goes and sees Jordan, and I knew it. Spoiler alert, by the way, we're going to talk about this, but I knew this was going to be the kiss of death for him because he's cute. He's Rick Leventhal. He's very good looking. He's hot. Andrew Dominguez is going to date him next, but the connection's just not there. I never saw them ever flirt throughout the entire season. I was really surprised he was down to the final four. And his kids were even saying, like, you have to open up with her more. Like, you don't really open up. And she was saying, I don't even know if he really likes me. And, you know, it proved later on. The final date is, I believe 100% she's going to end up with Chalk. Okay. She and Chalk are going to fuck if they haven't already fucked. And even though you think he's fake as fuck and he gives you the awk, Chalk is in her jock and she likes him a lot. It's really clear as doc. Like, something is going on. And he gave me the ick last night too. And I never thought this before, but there's something that is very scam artisty about him, right? What is it about him? What is it about Chalk that kind of feels a little bit like smarmy? Is it because he's so like obsessed with her? He open mouth kisses her. He introduced her to every single person that he's ever met in his life right off the bat in this first date and this hometown date. And then did you know that she had to like have a funeral on the hometown date? Like it was pretty crazy. Oh, all of you guys, Chalk knows how to play this game. Sleeping with the enemy. Chalk is a serial killer. Okay, so we're all in this together. I never thought it, but last night I saw it. And someone posted on the Facebook group today. Someone posted this, and I need to read this article. And basically it said about how Chalk Heather says something about Chalk bugs me. Maybe because he's acted like they're already together since before his mom died, or his 7-year engagement. Was he engaged for 7 years? On the previews for next week, we definitely see Joan upset and Pascal comforting her while simultaneously breaking the fourth wall by talking to the camera crew. Okay. This is an article from Screen Rant. It says the Golden Bachelorette signs Chalk will break Joan's heart. This is on the Facebook group, so we'll read about this. We don't know what's going to happen, but it looks to me like there's something going on later with Chalk. Who is she going to end up with if Chalk goes home? Is it going to be Pascal just because no one else is left? If she ends up with Guy, I will off myself. I can't. Can you imagine? Hey, Joan. Pascal, she should just end up with Pascal just for sex. Just for sex and hair blowouts. You know what I mean? One woman who is a doser has dated both Jordan and Pascal. Andrew says she's going to end up with Gary, and that would be officially like the end. Now, I was listening to Bill Maher, who is on the Skinny Confidential podcast, and he watched The Golden Bachelorette, and he said, I was dying of laughter because these are like good-looking men. And Bill Maher he's not married, but he's like, I couldn't get over how they were pining for Joan as if she is like God's gift. They were like, oh, she is just the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I can't get over her. And I'm thinking to myself, Joan is stunning. She really is stunning. But like Jordan, for example, Rick Leventhal, like he can get a hottie. Like he can get a young hottie, right? I think so. Oh my God, this is so good. Joan needs to go to Chalk's house and check out his cabinets and see how he hangs his towels. By the way, really quickly, when they do the hometown dates, why doesn't she go to their houses? That would be a huge, huge red flag. Why doesn't she get to go to their homes and see how they live? Like Love is Blind. If you don't get to actually see how they live and what's in their, like what kind of furniture they have and just how they are. Isn't that what they used to do on Bachelor, Bachelorette? Didn't they used to go to their homes? Or did I make that up? Like, that's a big part of it. Anyway, you guys, I love this. So much fun. Tomorrow we'll talk about everything else. Menendez Brothers updates. We'll talk about Real Housewives of OC. We'll talk about all the other things and probably everything that I did wrong today. I'm sure I'm going to get killed in the comments somehow because every day I do. I appreciate it. Love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.